So I did a demo probably maybe a month ago or something regarding search filters and parsers for the contents list. And I think we looked at issues of .NET last week, maybe last week, week before. So just kind of finalising on that really. So what we get now is a nice little text here where you can type in text, type in filters. There's filters for type, or the article, of course the articles. The sorts are in there as well. I haven't got localization turned on this site, but that's there too. So it all becomes kind of passed up there in the query string. And probably only the other change that I added to the UI is just to add a little describer kind of modal here as well. So all the registered filters describe what you can use, kind of properties, and it shows you the current value if there is a current value. And then we put a more complex one. And a little bit of information here on the syntax, so which filters support which syntax, and how the groupings and logic operators work. And then down the bottom we just get the current filter, and we get a normalized version of it, which just describes how it's been automatically constructed. If you just, so for example, if you don't actually put them in, the parser itself will still wrap a couple around because it needs a way to kind of establish which is grouped and which ones fit together.
I think it needs a tree view of all the tokens that are found and their hierarchy.
I think that's a debugger for Parrot, possibly. But I could be wrong there. So for all of these, you can register custom ones and describe them in any which way you want with any documentation. And same on the user screen. I haven't got enough users in this one to make it of any use. But you know, you can filter on the name, you can filter on the email, you can filter on the roles, statuses, sorts. That's weird how that's there and not there. I have to have a glance at that.
It looks unusual to have boxes, cards like this instead of a table, I would say.
I very nearly put inputs on them so that you could actually click select, and it would actually you could type in specific bits of the filter. But Antoine told me it looked weird, so I didn't.
Yeah.
So that one's that's all done and probably ready to be merged, unless anyone really wants a table here particularly, or has any other comments about. I wasn't sure about the idea of normalizing, just describing these things as normalized, but it seemed just to be an easy way to self-document it. Oh, there's no filter there.
Why is it uppercase O, IMB?
I think that was following Lucy.
But you told me, I know, you had already answered. I'm still thinking it's weird. But
it is a little weird, and there's probably no need for it. We could change that. It can be.
If it was accepting two of them, I would be like, yeah, sure, fine if you want to type O in uppercase, but to have to go to uppercase to type the O. I'm nitpicking, but I mean, it doesn't. It's not obvious. Like I would type A or recent, and then it will be fine. Nothing. I'm like, why? Oh, because O is O. Okay.
Yeah, I went with, like I said, I went with Lucine's syntax there, but I think it's a little weird that it has to be uppercase as well, because I always forget it when I was testing it. So maybe we'll look at that. Should also point out that this is actually a new use SQL feature. So there's a new project in.
Well, you say you forced me to accept that in your SQL.
Yeah, yeah, I made it. Absolutely. So yeah, it's a new. Oh, actually, I added some documentation as well, and I fixed all the old documentation, but it's not there. Where is it? I saved that. Maybe you removed it, Sebastian. Okay, so there's some documentation on your SQL on how you can configure these and use them yourself. We're starting to use it for some of our APIs just because it's a useful short query syntax, simple query syntax for searching through your SQL indexes.